Hello everyone, in this video we'll be solving problem 64, minimum path sum. The problem statement is we are given an m by n grid filled with non-negative numbers and we need to find the path from the top left to bottom right cell which minimizes the sum of all of the numbers along the path. And as we are moving, we are only allowed to move down or right. If you look at example number 1, the minimum sum to reach from the first cell to the last cell is 7, which is highlighted in the example. Taking any other route will give us a higher total. The problem statement is easy and straightforward to understand. Now let's switch to whiteboard and discuss how we can solve it. Like every other problem, we can apply brute force to solve this as well. As we are allowed to go in two directions, down and right, at every cell, we need to make two decisions. We'll continue to make the decision at each level until we reach the destination, that is the last cell. And as we are making these decisions, we'll also have to maintain a value of the path sum to reach to that cell. In other words, we are building a decision tree with two decisions at each level. For instance, if we start traversal from the first cell, that is 1, we have two options. We can either go in the downwards direction to cell 1 or towards the right to cell 3. And as we are traversing, we'll also have to maintain the path sum. Going towards the right will give us the total 4 and going downwards will give us the total 2 so far. So we'll continue to build all possible combinations that will help us reach to the last cell while also maintaining the path sum. As we have to make two decisions for each of the cells, the overall time complexity of this solution is going to be O of 2 raised to power m into n, where m and n are the total number of rows and columns in the given grid. As the overall time complexity of this solution is very high, let's think about some optimization that we can do. If we look at any of the cells in the given grid that is in the center, let's take 5 for example. There are two ways to reach to that cell. One is from 3, like moving downwards, and the other is to reach from the left hand side, that is cell 1. We don't care about the path as long as the total is minimum. The minimum path sum to reach cell 5 should be the minimum between the path sum to reach 3 and 1 plus the cell value, that is 5. Now let's consider the destination cell 1. There are two ways to reach to this cell. One is from cell 1, that is above, and cell 4, that is to its left. If I consider only these three cells in my grid, the minimum should be the comparison between cell 4 and cell 1 to reach my destination. As 1 is smaller, I will use that in my minimum path. This is the fundamental logic that we will be using to solve the problem efficiently. We will be building our solution based on the past calculations that we have done for the cells above and to its left, while making sure the path total is minimum. Instead of building the entire decision tree, we'll instead use dynamic programming as it will help us avoid any unnecessary calculations while maintaining the previously calculated values in the cache. As we don't care about the original values in the grid after we have calculated the minimum path to reach to that cell from the starting point, we can do in-place operations to save some memory. If you look at cell 3, there is only one way to get to it. It's from the left as there are no cells above it. So the path sum will be 1 plus 3, that is 4. Applying the same logic on the last cell in row 0, or that is the first row, as there is one way to get there, that is from the left, the total path sum will be the path sum to reach to cell 3 plus the current cell value, that is 4 plus 1, the totaling to 5. For the first row, as there are no cells above each of these cells, there aren't any decision that we can make. There is only one option to use the previous cell to build the new path. Hence, we are adding the previous cell value to the current cell to calculate the path sum. Similar logic can be applied to the first column. As there are no cells to the left of any of these cells, we don't really have any decision to make. We simply need to take the value of the previous row and add it to the current cell. For instance, to reach to the cell in second row first column, it should be the addition of the current cell value plus the previous cell value totaling to 2. And if I want to reach to the last cell, it should be the addition of the current cell value plus the previous one, resulting in 3. The logic for the cells in the center is similar to what we discussed earlier. To get to cell 5, there are two options. One is from 4, which is above, and the other is from 2, which is on the left. As 2 is smaller, it makes more sense to use that to get to 5 instead of going via 4. With that path, the new value will be 2 plus 5 resulting in 7. The same logic will be applied to the remaining cells until we reach to the last cell, that is our destination. The time complexity of this solution has been improved to O of m into n, where m and n are the number of rows and columns in the given grid. This is because we are iterating through the entire grid only once while maintaining the minimum path sum in a dynamic programming array. And the space complexity is also O of m into n, as we are using this dynamic programming array to store the minimum path for each of the cells. As we were doing in-place operation during the dry run, we technically are not using any extra memory. So we can simplify our space complexity to be O of 1, that is constant space. I hope you are able to understand the explanation. Let me show you how we can implement this using Python. In this Python implementation, I've initialized two variables setting the default value to the total number of rows and columns in the given grid. After that, I've started two for loops to iterate through all of the cells in the given grid. If the two pointers I and j are greater than 0, it means there are cells available to the top and to the left of the current cell. So I can compare the two values and the smaller value will be added to the current cell. If only I is greater than 0, it means we are looking at the first column. So we need to take the value of the previous row and add it to the current cell. The last condition is to check if j is greater than 0. If yes, it means we are looking at the first row. So we need to take the value of the previous column and add it to the current cell. This is because we don't have two cells to compare the value to calculate the minimum path. After the for loop is complete, I am returning the last value in the grid as the output. This code, when submitted on LeetCode, beats nearly 59% of the submissions in terms of runtime and nearly 75% in terms of memory. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you are able to understand the explanation. The details to access the source code is available in the description below. Feel free to check that out and I will see you in the next one. Thank you.